The next demo we're about to see is a technique that's called few-shot learning. Specifically, I'm going to be demonstrating one-shot learning, which exemplifies that it's going to be exactly one, but it could be any number of examples, as we're going to see in a short while. Why this technique is great is because it helps us teach LLMs new information on the fly. If in the past we had to get the information, set up a training pipeline, run it, redeploy the model for it to know new information, now we can teach it things on the fly. And we can teach it many things. We can teach it new information, new ways of solving, and generally anything we can think of that goes from point A to point B. I'm going to start up by setting up, giving it a API key. Here we have a few examples for different functions in the organization: marketing, sales, legal, finance. I'm just going to go and show you the sales example and pick the first one, which is lead qualification. Now, normally I would have a information on a lead, and here you can see company, number of employees, who the contact is, and my ask would normally be, help me score this. It could be on a scale of 1 to 10. It could be, as is shown here, hot, cold, or warm. But the problem is, it doesn't really explain how or what. And letting LLMs just choose on your own, two things are liable to happen. First, you might get the wrong answer. Second, you might get the answer which is right by the LLM standards, but is wrong by your standards or your company's standards. To circumvent that, what we do is we give an LLM an example of how to translate the information to the result. And here you can see I'm giving an example of information similar to the data that I have given, and I give an example of the result I'm looking to get. And you can see at the bottom line, it's scoring it, and there's also information on how to score it. Okay, decision maker, timelines, and ultimately my actual ask at the end. Now, if I want to use this, I'm going to have to build a prompt, and I don't have to retrain the model. I don't have to do an entire pipeline. And I simply have to combine all three things into the prompt. And you can see it's marked in colors. I have the data, the prompt, and the example marked in blue, red, and green. Now, all I have to do is run it. You can see that the LLM has marked it as hot, and it also gives me the answer in the same format that I gave it when I presented the one-shot example. And this is one of the most important techniques, and it's one of the emergent capabilities that sets LLM apart from old models.